Today is November 18th. Today is November 18th, 2024. I just had a birthday that passed, November 15th. I turned 45 years old. I did a video talking about how grateful I was to make it to 45 and how the things you value, how you used to value, you don't value so much no more. Excuse the noise, I'm outside. It's gonna be some cars or traffic or whatever. But I talked about how the things you value, you don't value no more. And as you get older, the more you value what we consider the more important things in life, right? Like love, friendship, trust, honesty, transparency. And one thing I can say about this birthday, at 45 years old, it was just dope, man. And it wasn't about, did I do any crazy adventures or did I get all kind of crazy gifts and stuff like that. I got some cool things that I really wanted. And I did some nice things with the wife. Did some really cool things with the wife. But most importantly, my wife made sure, and the type of friends I have, they made sure I was surrounded with love. And I think we don't talk about that enough. Everybody talks about the new toys they want. Like I could have did a gear video. I do have some new stuff. I'll do some videos on that later. But I wanted to talk about how important friendship is. How important it is to have a circle of valued friendship. God chosen, as far as I believe. I just felt love. I felt love. It felt so dope. It felt better than getting any kind of gift or better than going on your bucket list vacation. It just felt like love. I was surrounded with good people. People poured into me. People still pouring into me over the weekend, just pouring into me, saying great things and talking about my new walk and my journey, being a man of faith and being a man of God. And man, it's just, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by it. And I want to make a video about that. And most importantly, I want to talk about the friends, right? I think how I look at friendship is different than how I used to look at friendship. Just because you and I were raised down the street from each other, don't necessarily make us day ones. I understand, and people don't understand the phrase day one. That means like you've been friends since like the Sandlot, since a kid, right? Yeah, time is a thing, right? But what about values? How do you look at values in your friendship? How I look at values has changed drastically over the years. You go through your teens, your young adult age, you get into your 30s, you start thinking about getting more serious with life and trying to put things together, trying to make some forever moves. And 40s, you're more so like, all right, tired of the games. First of all, I'm done with the games. Not tired of the games. I've been done with the games. And I want nothing but valued things around me. People, wife, son, family, friendship, even career, what you consider to do for a living. And how I look at friendship change, I look at it like this. I call it more so like the Luca system, right? So it's loyalty, understanding, compassion, commitment, and accountability. I feel like those 5 values make up good friendship. And if I'm lacking in one of those areas between myself and another friend, I feel like we work on that. You fix that. And sometimes it comes naturally. A lot of times you have to teach people how to be your friends. Sometimes that takes time. A lot of you guys start off to be enemies at first. You're in school and you may be jealous of somebody because of something, and then 30 years later, y'all been just the best of friends the whole time. You probably started off fighting, right? But those core values, in my opinion, I'm not an expert, not a professional, don't claim to be, but in my opinion, those 5 values should keep you covered in well-oiled friendship. Loyalty, just being loyal to the cause of what we built, loyal to who I am. There will be no disrespect. not intentionally. You know what I mean? We're friends. Life has its ups, its ebbs and flows, its peaks and valleys, right? So you'll do something. We're gonna get into some arguments. We might not. You know, but as long as it's not intentional, you're not hurting anybody intentionally. Um, just staying loyal to who I am and loyal to your core values, loyal to the way you live and how you move, and we can kind of perfectly weave in and out of each other. I think that's what loyalty is about. Stand down. It's not about if I go do a crime, you going with me because you're my friend. No, don't do nothing stupid. Don't be a stupid friend. Like I'm not going to be the stupid friend, and I don't need any stupid friends. So don't make those kind of bad decisions because we've been friends for 20 years. That's just ignorance. We're not doing that. Um, yeah, so loyalty is big with me. You know, um, understanding. Properly allow yourself to understand perspective. Just because I may not agree with something, don't mean I don't understand where you're coming from, or I didn't understand how you made that decision, right? Because understanding leads to compassion in a lot of ways. I can understand why you did that. Now, depending on how drastic the results, we may got to work on that. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. Maybe you should do something else. But I'm very understanding on how we moved, or how we got here, or how you did this, or how I did that. Right? Let's learn to be understanding. Don't just because you don't do something a certain way, then you just you flip or you get angry or you get mad at me or it's personal now, and just understand why or how. Make sure there's some logic there. And if there's some logic there, we got something to work with, right? Just leaving your mind open for perspective because everybody won't think like I think. They just don't. You know what I mean? Everybody, me and my wife, we've been married. We've been together 15 years, right? We're growing and learning every single day. I'll get a new version of her tomorrow. She'll get a new version of me tomorrow. But as long as we are loyal, right, and we're understanding, we can make it through anything. So we have to be understanding. It's critical, right? Compassion. Be compassionate. Show compassion. Lead with love. That's how you show compassion. If you lead with love, it's very easy to be compassionate. People are going to go through things. Your friend's going to be stressed or depressed, or yourself going to be stressed or depressed. You're going to be dealing with life's issues, grief, unemployment, hurt, heartbreak, all kind of things. Let's show compassion when we deal with people. If you're there to console, don't be so hard on people. And don't do that whole I'm keeping it real thing. Keeping it real doesn't mean anything if you don't deliver it with love. God intended us to do it that way. Intended to lead with love. So just think about that when you're dealing with your friends. We have to be more compassionate. We got to be a little more soft in the way we deal with people. Yes, there's going to be some hard decisions. And yes, sometimes you got to be a little hard on your friends when it comes to lessons, right? But for the most part, if you're leading with love, you have the little chances to move another way or be aggressive with because they know you've done so much of being compassionate that you're trying to drill this extra point in, right? So just think about that when you're dealing with your friends. You know what I mean? Commitment. Are you committed to where we're going? Are you committed to the person I am? Do you see growth? And if you see growth and you're committed, and we've been loyal, we've been understanding, we've been compassionately dealing with each other, being there for one another, are you committed to what we're building here? I'm committed. Right? Can you be committed also? You know, I think that's very critical when it comes to moving forward in our friendships. You have to be committed. And I need to know that if we get into anything, back and forth, disagreements, we can withstand it. Can we get on the other side of it? I don't need you getting so personally upset that you just can't be my friend forever. Right? Because what does that really tell about us in the first place? And the key is, yes, we have a lot of work to do inside of ourselves. So we don't act that way when it comes to dealing with certain people. I understand. I get that. Right? But I'm committed to my friends. My circle of friends, I'm committed to my circle of friends. One of my friends, Sweepy, I've been knowing Sweepy for half my life, 20 some odd years. Right? I don't even remember getting into an argument with her, if I ever have. Sweepy is married to one of my best friends, Slim. Slim is an incredible human being who never plan on ever being without again. So when there's division in a friendship, it's so many other pieces break away when you break open that divide. But I'm committed to her, the friendship, and her union, her and her husband, my man Slim. I'm committed to them, and they're committed to me and my wife just the same. And we're in it for the long haul. Meaning, if we're committed, we can get through anything. They're there when I'm down. They're there when I'm up. We celebrate each other. It doesn't have to be a birthday. It doesn't have to be a big thing. We don't have to get blessed with a new car or a new job. We just celebrate each other. We're all about the wins, and we comfort each other in the losses, understanding that the losses will come, right? You're going to struggle. You know what I mean? We're followers of Jesus Christ. We're going to struggle. You have your ups and downs. But we believe that God's going to send us through these things to get us tougher and stronger on the other side, so he can bless us and keep us going, so we can excel and keep moving and be a blessing to everybody else, and use our lives as testimony, you know. So just be committed to one another. Last but not least, accountability. You have to hold your friends accountable and allow yourself to be checked as well. And when I say checked, don't think it's so aggressive. Check just means correction, right? If you're wrong, you can be corrected. You should allow yourself to be corrected. That's how you get the better version of who you are. I'm not too high up on whatever kind of soapbox or whatever I'll be on. I'm not too high up on whatever pedestal or whatever to not be checked. You got to check some people. You got to correct them. But you also do that with compassion, right? You also do that with understanding. That way, checking don't feel like checking, like you guys would think it does, right? So when you move in that kind of way, it comes off different, right? And then people can respect it at that point. They can move better at that point, move easier through whatever at that point, and understand you. You know what I mean? And then actually be willing to hear you out about that correction. So hold your friends accountable. I've never been an enabler. I just can't. I'm not gonna cheer you through your wrongs. I'm not gonna cheer you through your mistakes. I'm not cheering you, but I will handle with care and tell you where I think you could have done better. I'm going to tell you where I think you should have did this instead. Maybe think about this next time. Right? That's the kind of friend I am. Those are the kind of friends I expect to have. Those are the kind of friends I do have. So I want to make this video just about that, because it's so important as we get older to have a good base of friends. Life gets hard by yourself. It gets hard. I'm not saying you have to be married or you have to have a husband or a wife, or I'm just saying we have to have some kind of companionship. Some kind of companionship to help you through life. Because life gets tough. It does. And even having all that, I have a core group of friends that are my everything. They're my heart and soul. And even when I go through my things, it's tough. And I have all that support, all that pouring into me. Are you okay? Checking in, just bringing me things, or being there for me, talking to me, praying over me. I got all that, and it still gets tough. So I can imagine what it's like to not have that. It gets tough. So, yeah, this video isn't about content creating or anything, but it's imperative that we pour into one another. We speak values into one another. This channel, I'm still working it out, right? But I felt it on my heart to make this video because friends are so important. Your friends are important. Watch how you choose them. Allow God to choose them. Let him lead the way. You can't go wrong. If God chooses them, they're for the benefit of the whole circle. Allow God to choose. Trust me, life gets much more smoother with that in place. To all my friends, to all my family, to anybody that said anything cool or nice or prayed for me or whatever during my birthday, thank you. I love you. And I pray you all find good core value of friends to live forever with. Straight up. God bless.